Let's go.
All right, look, we're going to go ahead and start the show like this. Normally, we go right into our opening, but tonight we're going to do things a little bit different. First of all, I shouldn't have put this heavy shirt on, Helen. I am hot. Do you hear me? That was a bad idea.
It's too early to be hot.
It's too early to be hot. We got a full show tonight. Believe it or not, for those of you who are just joining us or will be joining us, we do have a full show tonight. We just have men who are late. They're on CP time. Ladies, the ladies were ready. All right, y'all. Tonight we're talking Scabs versus Scars. That's going to be a very exciting show.
What y'all think about it? I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty excited too. So
the creativity in the title in itself is just chef's kiss. Like once we get into it, because we got to tell people how we define it, right? Like it's just nice. It's nice.
Absolutely. And we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game tonight. I'm going to let Yashika tell us what Scabs versus Scars is. We're going to talk about it. Eric and Ace should both be in here in a little bit, and then we'll be able to dig into it. Eric, of course, is a counselor, so Scab versus Scars is really kind of his forte.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Oh, man, this is exciting. So I guess we'll see everybody. Hey, look, before we push that intro button, everyone share the show. I just shared it myself. Right. We want everybody y'all know to watch this show. I'm dropping balls, Helen. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm good.
Nuggets. Dropping them.
Nuggets. We'll see y'all in 1 minute.
I don't think he backs down from anything that he says. That stands behind whatever statement that he makes.
Well, one of them can use 8-tracks, cassette tapes, CDs. You ain't gonna get it. Stereotype.
I think one of the things we talked about is family dinners. That's like a mini reunion.
You can't catch all fish with the same bait, right? So you got to be careful with who you're trying to reach.
I agree with the music definitely influences violence, and it definitely makes a lot of individuals feel like, yo, this is the play, this is what, I got to do.
I see Andre already.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Rebrand Us Again. My name is Anthony Goodson. I'm your host for tonight, along with the two ladies.
Hello.
Helen, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I had a very hectic day, but it was a good day. It was a productive day. And one time, real quick, like I always tell people, I'm a friendly person, right? There's not a lot of people that I can meet that I can't get along with. But when it comes to work, I know how to do my job. I know how to execute it, and I own up to when I mess up.
Right.
So try and be funny or try and like low key baby. Every time I'm gonna stand on it, so I have to flex a little bit today. People are like, and I say, yeah, don't. If you want to be funny, I know how to make you laugh now. Okay.
Did you say don't let the smooth taste fool you, huh?
Oh, that's really what she's saying. Yes.
Yashika, how was your day?
Busy day. Mine's quite hectic too, but God is good.
Amen.
Yeah. You know what? I was talking to a friend of mine. My day was good, by the way. Let me go ahead and throw that out there. But I was talking to a friend of mine.
You gotta go. I'm doing my meeting.
She thought she was on mute, but she wasn't.
I wasn't. Sorry, y'all.
I was talking to a friend of mine today at work, and she was just all the way gone. Really, it's a true story. She was all the way gone, telling me some of the issues she had with previous companies that she works for, and then of course the company that she works for now, and she was just going into it and talking about leaving the industry and all that stuff. So I thought about it. I thought tonight's show, Scabs versus Scars. So she's obviously in an industry that she absolutely loves, but she's been burnt quite a bit, and unfortunately, Yashika, those scabs are still scabs. Those wounds are still wounds, and they haven't gotten to the point yet where they're scars. We're going to bring Ace in, and I'm going to let you talk a little bit more about this here in just a little bit. What up, Ace? How you doing?
What's going on there? I just talk about those technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, look, we're going to go ahead and jump in and show somebody sends us a note. They say, good evening. All right, Yashika, tell us, what do you think Scabs versus Scars? Give me your spiel on what that means.
So the best way I can explain it is the way I explain it to people, which helps them understand it, is the difference between a scab and a scar. We know a scab is something that's protecting a wound, right? But if you peel back that scab, there's going to be a gaping wound. You ever hear like There's a saying, what's it, pull back a wound? You ever heard that saying when people say you pull back a wound? That's because that's the scab that's over there, that's over that wound. Now, the scab can appear to be a scar, but there's a life trigger that can happen and make you realize something you thought was a scar, it's not a scar, it's a scab. Now, the way I explain it too is that if you look at a scar that you have somewhere on your body, could be a childhood scar. So you fell something, you look at that scar, you're able to tell exactly how you got that scar, what happened, how it happened, but what's the likelihood of you getting that scar again, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's really important that when you hear scar versus scab, you want the scar. The scar is what shows you healed from it, you lived through it, you healed from it, and you know how you got it, and your choices are different because of it. But with a scab, you still are going through stuff, and some scabs are covering a super deep wound.
Yeah, but you know what the thing about a scab is? A scab represents the healing process. You got a wound. The wound, that's the cut. Somebody cut you. That's a wound. But then the scab represents healing. But if you keep peeling back that scab, guess what? It's still going to be a wound. Helen, I don't know if anybody told you, but if this is she popped out, so I guess maybe they did tell her. Maybe she didn't need that information. She'll be back in just a little bit. Scab versus scars. Ace, what do you have as a comment for scab versus scars?
I think it's first. I think it's an excellent subject because I think it's something that needs to be discussed, and I'm learning a lot by just listening. Because like me, I'm pretty sure a lot of people they really didn't know the difference in that, and they really didn't recognize that. So this is a learning experience for me as well. Listening to Yashika kind of break that down and describe that, because that's something that I had never thought about, and I really didn't kind of differentiate that, or I wasn't aware of it.
Hello, everyone. All right. So scab versus scars, that's what we're talking about tonight. Let's go ahead and get into it a little bit. So there's 5 signs that you're healing. I want to talk about the healing process, and then we'll go back to what.
Now, is my audio good? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
If you would have been on 15 minutes early like you're supposed to, that question wouldn't have to be asked live on it. All right. So scab versus scars is what we're talking about today. 5 signs you're healing. Number 1, your thoughts are becoming more and more positive, and you're becoming a whole lot more calm. Life feels like it's really just getting better. Your relationships are getting better. Your finances are getting better. And finally, probably the most important part, your health is changing for the better. So I'm gonna read these again here in just a little bit. This is some of the signs that you're healing, but we'll go back and talk about the scar itself, the traumatic experience, and then we'll move ourselves up, and then I'll get back to this, and then of course we'll talk about signs of psychological repair and treatment and all that stuff. So all right, so a lot of people we're comparing scabs and scars of life to like a physical scab and a scar. Somebody gets stabbed, somebody fall down and cut themselves, somebody burn themselves, whatever the case may be. That is the lesson itself, right?
Right.
Being stabbed, even if it's not violently stabbed, you accidentally poke yourself, touching a hot stove, falling off a bicycle. These are the lessons of life. These are the wounds of life that teach you something and that you probably should have done better the first time, right? And so that scab is going to be real life lessons. That scab is going to be sitting on your leg for a long time until it fully heals, but it's going to always be a reminder there that I probably shouldn't have done whatever it was, and that's called a scar. So that's the comparison that we're using right here. So I'll let y'all just jump in and kind of tell us about the wounds of life and how we get to the final place where you should be, which is of course the scar. Yashika, I'll let you jump into it.
First, huh?
Yeah.
Well, for me, like one of the deepest things for me is the one something a little bit like I talked about last night is that the way I grew up, and how my brother and I, and how we were and how we weren't, because we didn't have the best relationship, especially through my 20s and his 20s. We were only 2 years apart, and how we didn't really have a good upbringing, and I mean, not a good upbringing, but we didn't have a good relationship, him and I, throughout. I mean, but I loved him, because you have to protect your peace and people you can love from afar. Absolutely adored my brother. I raised his kids, but I loved him, but I wasn't able to, we wasn't able to have a good relationship. And so I thought I was okay with that. I know that I'm loving him. I pray for him. I'm good with that. I don't know why we had our rifts, but we did. But my brother passed 2 years ago, almost about 2 in a couple months. And I remember saying, I thought I was having a nervous breakdown because the way we grew up and how we grew up, and him and I, when we were kids, I thought I had healed from all that. Whatever I've been through, I'm tough, right? I've been through a lot, but I'm tough. I can take it. I'm strong. And I really thought I was. But losing him, I felt like a little kitten. I felt like I was literally having a nervous breakdown. And for me, it was what I found out was that that scar I thought I once had was not a scar. It was a wound still there, just covered by a really thick scab. And me losing him, that as hard and as thick as that scab was, it was peeled back. And then you have to deal with what comes with that wound, which is, the soreness, a wound is bloody and sore and it hurts. It can be infected. And that's one of the most serious ones, in life, is an infected wound, because infection will spread to others. Mm-hmm. So if you have a wound and you don't even realize the wound, or you're not mindful of that wound, that's why you notice when people say cancers, it's a cancer, just the person is a cancer and it's just affecting everybody. That wound is like that too. It'll bleed all over everybody. But
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Well, the interesting part about all of this is, it's kind of like this 12-step process of what is it, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. The first thing you have to do is recognize that you have a problem, right? And so, I think that's the best way to turn that wound into a scab. Because it can't go from wound to scar. It has to go through the processes first. So, recognizing you have a problem. And from mental health reasons, I think that you have to almost admit that, whatever the problem is, it's actually there. Right. And I think that that's the process, the part of the process that most people try to skip over, because especially men don't want to recognize that it's there at all. Women, y'all will talk through it a little bit more, and maybe we'll do it at the barbershop, men. But I think the first thing you're saying is you have to recognize it. And until you recognize it, it's hard to really dig deep and figure out if it's still there. Think about relationships, Helen. We talked about this last night. If you're in a relationship and you break up with someone, when you're over that relationship, when somebody can talk about that person and you don't feel any kind of way. Right. Or you can talk about that person and not feel any kind of way. Or you can go to certain places. Like, I had some unhealed scabs, I guess, whenever I would go to my hometown, and my grandmother and my uncle had passed. And for a long time, it was really tough, especially for my uncle, more so him than my grandmother. And so I recognized that I had to pray about it. And God, he healed it. Let me tell you how it's now a scar. Because what happened with me is I prayed. I said, God, I'm not healed from this. You have to do something. And so what he did was he started putting my uncle and my grandmother both in dreams. And I would dream that they were there, that we'd have right now dreams about something. Like my uncle would talk about Yashika, who he never knew. And these were in my dreams. So God was able to heal and turn those scabs and wounds into the real scars.
Wow. That's good.
Adrian?
That's I was finna say, that's one of the main things. We get these wounds and things like that, and I think the main thing is confronting it and accepting. My hardest wound. My mom passed in 2017, and it's one of those things where it's like, no matter how you feel about it, you have to understand that it's here and how we gonna deal with it. Because it's one of the things you definitely want to tuck and run and hide from it. But at the end of the day, it's there. And so I think that's a starting point for everybody as far as like the healing process, no matter what it is recognizing the problem and then realizing that it's a real thing, and then putting something together as far as now how are we gonna address it, or how we're going to fix it. Because if you don't address it as being real or even acknowledge it, then it's just going to linger on and hang around there. And I think that's a big problem that a lot of people have.
Yashika, we were talking about this last night. The age-old statement, and of course, it may have never been a true statement, but we've all heard this many a times before. Speaking of scabs, I think that Helen is having a real scab with her.
She on a boxing match.
Yeah, with her internet. But y'all know the old story where the man had twin boys. We talked about this last night, and the man was an alcoholic. And the two boys, they came out very differently. And one of them, he became an alcoholic, and the other one didn't. And they asked the one who became an alcoholic, "Why did you become an alcoholic?" And his answer was, "Because my daddy was an alcoholic." And they asked the other one, "Why did you not become an alcoholic?" And his answer was, "Because my father was an alcoholic." Very same answer to the question, but they had different results. And I think that what happened was one of them, as they were growing up, realized what the scab of their father was, and he never really healed from that, and it became a wound even before it even happened to him. Nothing ever really happened to him, so he decided not to even drink. His wound was already there. Very interesting. So anybody who wants to express their wounds, I think we've had a couple people over the last couple of weeks talk about theirs online. Be sure to put some notes. Now you don't have to be too personal, but we're willing to.
And I'm telling you right now, we're not professionals. We definitely not thinking we can cure you, but my answer most likely is going to be put some tussin on it, or take some tussin.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We got you.
Miracle.
I am so apologetic. I don't know why the energy is just trying to mess with it, but listen, we ain't gonna let it. I'm gonna keep trying till we get it. I'll just stick through it, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We glad to have you at any cost. How's that?
Okay. Thank you. So, what I did want to say, what I think is interesting about scabs and scars in general is that a lot of us have a hard time identifying, and similar to what you said, Anthony, earlier, identifying or accepting the role we play in it, in the scar and in the scab. So not only do you have to recognize it, but it takes two to tango in most things that we do in life. Whether you do it solo because of something or you doing it with somebody, but it usually, I guess if you're doing it solo, it is a solo thing. But sometimes it's usually, it takes two to tango. So you being one of those two. So whether you're in the wrong place, wrong time, whatever the situation is, I think it's hard for some of us to accept that because it's easier to be a victim. It's easier to be well, this happened so, or I went through this so, nobody did this so. And the only true way we can get scars is a part we play in that healing process, right? So taking care of it, cleaning it, attending to it, dressing the wound.
That's right.
Mentally addressing it, taking the time. What role did you play in that? What were the circumstances? What could have happened differently? Or whatever the situation may be, and then taking the time to process those emotions. It's okay to be angry. Like, ain't nobody saying you can't be mad. It's okay to cry about stuff. It's okay to be hurt. Like, these are normal emotions. But you also have to take the part to recognize how we got there. You can't just say, oh, well, I had a tough childhood, so I can be an asshole. No, you can't, actually. That's not how that works for real. You choosing to do that, and that's a different conversation, but you also have to be open to have that conversation. So I think that is a very simple concept, but it has a bigger or more depth to it than we realize. And so we kind of steer away from it. And then once you have that realization, it's a little easier to get scars and scabs, or get scabs because you know how to get a scar in the long run,
Absolutely.
I like what you said right there. That's one of the biggest things I hate, when somebody is messed up or doing something. They say, well, that's how my mama did me. That's how my dad did me. And things like that. I'm like, but no, you old enough to, but that's the healing process though.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go to the comments and then we'll go back to Yashika. Big Cat says, we all have scars, but we all don't have the same pain tolerance. Oh, man. Dude, I love it when he's on here. We're going to have you on here. He always dropping these gold nuggets. It's the hardest part of seeing others in pain is not knowing how to understand another person's tolerance. That's deep. That's very, very deep.
Empathy.
Another comment just came in. It said, I don't know who this is, Ace. It says, some Kirby says some use it as perceived crutch, others use it as momentum and inspiration.
Boom. Both sides of the coin. That's the alcoholic father with the twins right there. Both sides of the coin.
Very good, very good. Thank you for those comments, ladies or fellas.
Y'all, just y'all.
But I like what you said. We're trying to make this an analogy towards an actual physical scar. And what you said, you have to treat it. Some scars, Helen, needs to go to the doctor. Some scars don't. But all of them need to be treated. All of them need to be cleaned out. Some of them need a Band-Aid placed on it. So I don't know how we assimilate those things, but that's how we have to do a physical scar that you actually get a cut. Some need stitches. Some need surgically removed, dealt with. And I'm assuming that's similar to going to a place and they may actually have to give you medication. But the reality is that the parallel is certainly there. Let's go to the comment. Somebody says, "Ouch." But I think that it's very necessary to understand that a physical scar and an emotional scar is very similar. That has very similar antidotes to them. And so if you can kind of figure that out, and the thing is, Yashika, a lot of people don't realize that. They don't realize that they have been physically, emotionally scarred, and that they need to go get help. They think time heals all wounds when that is not true.
No,
that's not true at all. And then and sometimes it'll be so much time that it's too late by the time it do.
Yeah.
So I was in the Bible, the book of Job. That's a huge scar. Oh, go ahead, Yashika. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so the book of Job, if y'all ever read your Bible, Job went through a rough time. He lost his wife, he lost his friends, he lost his cattle, he lost his money, he lost his children, he lost everything, but he didn't lose God. He never really lost himself. We studied that, Adrian. He never really lost himself. But I think in the if you really in parallel to what we're talking about, the scab was there. And he knew that the healing process had to come. He knew that there had to be a scar to come, but he never lost his faith. And that was that's where he went, to get all the healing that he needed, all the doctoring that he needed, the Band-Aid he needed. And so I don't know how exactly we do that. I really was relying on Eric being here tonight because he got a whole lot more conversation about that. But, I think that it's very necessary for us to understand that. But anyway, moving right along, y'all, let's play a quick game until we get ready to go on. All right. What I'm going to do, we're going to break away for a few minutes, and we're going to play a hilarious game. I'm going to take two people off screen, okay? And, it's only four of us on here right now, so I'm going to take two people off screen. I sent y'all some emails earlier today. Hopefully, y'all were able to check it out. I'm not even going to tell y'all what two people I'm going to take off screen, and I'm going to make it an eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, now I know which ones I'm taking off. Y'all are going to play dad jokes. I want y'all to try to, it's all about comedic timing. What I want you to do is try to make the other one laugh, and I want the other one to not laugh. See, I sent all these jokes to y'all at the same time. Y'all know what the jokes are, so you don't know which one they're going to actually pick. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to just take off random. I'm taking off Yashika. She's next to me. All right, Ace. Well, let me move Helen over here. Ace and Helen, are y'all ready? Look towards each other. Come on, let's go. Look towards each other and do this joke. Let me put a little music on. Ladies, we are playing Try Not to Laugh, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see what happens.
Does smiling count?
Smiling is okay. And go. It's on y'all. It's on you.
Okay. One of my favorites. Helen, can I tell you a quick story?
It's already over.
I already don't like how you set that up.
Okay, first 1 to 3 is where we're going. All right, Helen, it's on you.
Okay.
Okay, Ace. Tell me now. What did the triangle say to the circle?
What did he say?
You're pointless.
Okay, Ace, on you.
Okay, the story I was finna tell you. So check this out. Am I gonna win by default?
Looks like.
No, wait. Okay. Hold on. Wait, no.
Serious face.
I'm sorry. I got to
Ace.
And I know this is one of my favorites right here.
Mhm.
One of my good friends, Mr. Eddie Murphy. It's one of my favorite stories. All right, you ready? Okay. A bear and a rabbit went to take a dump in the woods. While they was taking a dump, the bear turned to the rabbit and he said, "Excuse me, do you have problems with doo-doo sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit said, "No." So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit.
I know that's not one of the jokes I sent you.
That's rude.
Okay. Helen, it's on you.
Now, along the same lines as your joke, what did one toilet say to the other toilet?
What?
You look flushed.
That's good.
I see what you did there.
One more round.
Okay.
Ace is on you.
Another good one that I like. I actually heard it and I thought it was hilarious. Okay. What do you call a buck, a male deer? What do you call a buck that doesn't have antlers?
Antlers?
A transgen deer.
Oh, because female deers don't.
Oh man, she didn't do it over here. Ah.
Right.
Last one, and then we're gonna spare the audience all of this pain. Helen, it's
Y'all know these funny.
Okay. Now this is an easy one. Layup.
That's a shot.
Oh, anyways, Ace. What is Forrest Gump's computer password?
What?
1, Forrest, 1. Like the number 1.
It's so horribly bad.
Well, you know what? We need that button to say womp.
Somebody says, "Want to hear a joke about pizza? Bring it on. We need anything right now." All right, y'all. Hey, look, that was a lot
Don't
of
be
fun.
a hater. I was good. Okay.
We're gonna do it one more time when Eric shows up. We'll have Yashika on. But until then, we'll see y'all in just a bit.
Blackboard, Revoke. Let's do it.
So this is the R&B edition. So Helen, according to Michael Jackson, what did the PYT have to repeat after him and say?
Pretty young thing. I'm gonna have to sing the whole song.
Eric, what question did Marvin Gaye ask after stating, "Mercy, mercy me, things ain't what they used to be"? You speak according to Tevin Campbell.
Ooh.
How long did he want to talk?
Oh, that's easy. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
My card is revoked.
Want to bring that curb appeal back to your home or business? Let us help you. Call Ace Power Washing at 469-337-4080 or email us at powerwashingace3@gmail.com. Whether it's sidewalks, driveways, house or building washing, we'll take care of you. Call or email today for your free quote. We'll see you soon.
All right,
Okay,
ladies
y'all.
and gentlemen. We are going to spare y'all from those jokes. That was just the most brutal.
Man,
that was the most brutal 3 minutes.
That was fun. That was good material.
It was great.
With scars versus scabs. That's what we're talking about.
Oh man, come on now.
All right. I believe it was Kirby. I'm not real sure. Let's go to the comments real quick. An old joke came back. He says, "Want to hear a joke about a pizza?"
Oh, that's Big Cat.
Big Cat. Okay.
Yeah.
Want to hear a joke about a pizza? Nah, too cheesy. That's the best joke we've heard all
I
night.
like that. I like that.
All right, y'all. Cognitive changes. These are 4 signs and symptoms, or I don't know what I wrote, of psychological trauma. All right, so you have, this is when you are increasing and you're getting a little bit better. But they said cognitive changes means that your thoughts are getting better. You used to have dreams and nightmares, but not so much anymore. Altered behavior patterns. It's actually, this is the negative side of it. You avoid people, and you start avoiding places. Psychological concerns, you start having anxiety, panic attacks, fear, anger, and you become irritable. And then, of course, physical problems, difficulty falling asleep, rapid heartbeat, etc., etc., etc. So if you or someone you know are having some of those, then that means they're probably going through some kind of a cognitive change, some kind of a psychological issue, trauma right now. And those are people that you definitely need to try to seek help from. All right, so Malcolm X, Maya Angelou says,
get all damn confused at one time.
Oh man,
I know it.
They're the most innovative people in my life or my history.
Black person.
Maya Angelou says, one of her most famous quotes that I absolutely love is, "You may not remember what they said, you may not remember what they did, but you'll never forget how they made you feel." And scabs versus scars to me represents that, because oftentimes something happens in a person's life and they don't even remember what it was, or they don't remember the feeling that they had at that time, but the trauma of whatever it is still going on to this very day. You could be, the first 10, 15 years of your life, your mom was in and out of jail, your dad was, doing drugs, whatever the case may be. But now here you are at 50 years old and you're still dealing with the issues that you were dealing with the first 15 years of life. So that's scabs versus scars. So some people never, ever get to the part of having a scar, Helen.
Yeah. No, my mom passed a few years ago, rest her soul. And I was just talking to my sister the other day, and I was saying, what I am sad the most about my mom's passing is that I know that my mom passed with not a lot of fulfillment in life. She had a lot of scabs. And the older I get and the more I realize I've been blessed to live a different type of life and be blessed in different ways that I don't think she ever got to experience, it just makes me pathetic. Dang, I couldn't imagine living a day in her shoes. And she ultimately, though, that was her decision. She knew what she was doing. We've had conversations to a point where she knew that she was avoiding certain things to fix certain things to do better. And I told my brother that, because I feel like he goes through something similar, that some of us are stuck in trauma bonding. We like to be connected to others that are in similar situations. And unfortunately, she had more of that than positivity. So scars and scabs are real. And they definitely can shape how we live out our lives. And so at the end of the day, or at the end of this conversation, I think I want all of us to just be mindful of that. How we live, how we operate, how we move comes from some place. And if you are, unfortunately, of the Black community, you have a lot more scars to deal with and a lot more unpacking to deal with than maybe another race that was more privileged or had less to fight against. So it's real, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with healing. There's nothing wrong with having to get your shit together, to be frank.
Well, it's funny you say the Black community, because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, man, that's a major, I don't even know if it's a scab. I think it's a wound. I don't ever think it'll become a scar.
A gaping wound.
Yeah.
Gaping wound.
Gaping. I would say gaping, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's on you.
For me, I would say, how do you heal from this stuff, right? Some people, the way that I describe it is because it's the way that I think. I was able to change myself and do better for myself, do better for my kids, and really get myself out of the situation that I was in, right? But to me, I didn't feel like my brother was strong enough. In my head, I have to think, not everybody doesn't want to live that way, right? Not everybody. Everybody does not want to be in the situations that they're in, but how do they get out of them? Mm-hmm. How do you begin the healing process? A lot of times people don't know that, and then especially in the Black community, we don't see therapy as therapeutic.
Right.
People don't want to go to therapy. They don't want to talk. They don't want to get it out. That's the hard part, is getting it, unpacking it. See, we say it when we talk about it. It sounds simple.
Right.
Man, it's not. It's not at all simple. It wasn't at all. To look yourself in the mirror and really see you for yourself for what it is,
Right.
it's hard.
That's real.
Right.
You know, and some people can't. They shy away. They can't see it. They just can't see themselves with all those scabs and wounds everywhere, gaping everywhere. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard
So-
daily. It's hard for me.
We talked about this last night, Helen. The dating process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of people who are in relationships, and you know they don't have any, you know, scabs or wounds or anything in the rest of their life. Maybe just the dating process. So they date someone. Maybe they go through a divorce. Maybe they break up. Whatever the case may be. And now they're putting up the wall. See, I believe a wall should be put up. I think that protects you. However, you can't bring the wounds and the scabs and the scars and the this and the that of the last relationship into the new relationship, right? You have maybe the scars you can bring into, because that's the lesson. But you can't bring the rest of that stuff into this relationship. So, you know, not to tell too much about. See, all of our fans are out there looking at the ladies, and they're like, man, that's two beautiful ladies. I wonder if they're single. I wonder if they're in a relationship. Well, one of them, and I won't say which one, she just recently got into a new relationship, but she got out of an old relationship however long ago. How did you heal from that one? You see, I did that. How did you heal from that relationship and make it into this next relationship? Whoever it is I may be talking about.
Yashika?
Not telling my business, honey. It's not my business. I don't got no business to tell. So it's not me, y'all.
Not you set it up like that, my good sir. Listen, y'all see my name. Y'all see my name. It ain't nothing to it but to say it. So yeah, and one thing I want to say is that I've actually had an epiphany today that if we get to it and it comes up naturally, I'll share. But for the sake of staying on topic, I was with my ex for 5 years. I was single for a year, close to a year. I actually hit a year, like a year and some change, actually. And I just recently started talking to someone at the end of 2023. It's been cute. It's been good. It's been 10-4. And the ironic part about that is that my new partner, my man, you know, operates in a way where he doesn't tell me a lot. He just shows me. He doesn't say he's gonna do something. He'll just do it. He doesn't ask if he always asks if I need something, but like he's just observant. So if he sees I'm coughing, he go gets me some tea. Just like small things that I do naturally to people I love and I care about, because that's how I was raised. But I've never really received it from a man without having to like kind of show him that that's what I would like. So I'm enjoying it, but my guard is like, this a little suspect. Like, when is the shoe gonna drop? When it's gonna switch up? Like, when you finna come out and all of a sudden it's too much? Or, oh, you know, I was here when I met you. I'm going through some things, so I can't. The consistency of it. But he hasn't shown me anything to make me even think that way. But I am aware enough to know that's my trauma from my last relationship, because, you know, he would be cute too for a little moment, and then it'd be not cute for a long moment. And so I dealt with that because I saw potential, I saw growth, I saw that it could be there. And so my scab is that I am aware that I'm still having to appreciate what I'm given, because I believe this is a blessing, and also be mindful of my heart as well, until I'm able to, I don't know. I think that's the part I'm still trying to figure out. I'm not sure what I need to feel that.
You know what I would say? I think sometimes we self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
We think we don't, there's got to be something. Oh my gosh, I coughed and he brought me tea. What he up to?
Mm-hmm.
Why he doing that? You know what I mean? Instead of us, we always go to, and this is not you, I'm saying people, go to the negative part versus the positive. We automatically, it's almost like we're attracted to that part. And it may be your ex, but it may not be. It may be another scab that go way back to make you feel like you may not deserve what's being done for you, but you do deserve it. And whatever it is that that caused that scab, in order to turn it to the scar, one of the things you have to do is forgive yourself for whatever it is you feel like you don't deserve, because you do deserve it. You do deserve the tea when he brings it to you because you cough, not because he's just being cute and y'all in the courting stage. You deserve that.
Right.
That's something you deserve. We just have to be mindful that, especially with scabs and scars, is to give ourselves time and to forgive ourselves. Because sometimes with self-reflection, we need to forgive ourselves in order to get healed. Because we beat ourselves to death about something that happened, and we don't even allow anybody else to do it. We do it to ourselves.
Yeah, true.
Right.
And I think another thing too, we all have to realize is you don't have to do it alone. That's a main thing right there. You don't have to do it alone. But one thing too, we should all be mindful of. That's the scary part is, we have to pay attention, make sure that we don't condition ourselves to where we're comfortable living with the scab, or it doesn't bother us anymore, and that's a place that you get to that's hard right there.
Let's go to the comments real quick. We have two that just came in. The last one says, the one who puts up a wall is fighting in their own war inside those walls. You know what? I don't know which one of you ladies said this, but
that's Big Cat.
It was that Big Cat. Well, I don't know which lady said this part, but forgiveness is so huge. It's so huge. And I mean, because it's forgiveness is not for those other people, it's for you. The mistakes that you've made, you have to forgive yourself. You have to understand that, because half the scars that are out there is kind of self-inflicted in the first place. And I think that once you recognize that and you forgive yourself from these issues and so forth and so on, then you're able to start healing. And that's when the healing process starts. It goes all the way back to that 12-step program of AA and Alcoholics Anonymous. Another comment that came in says, culturally, we treat gunshots like paper cuts. Ace, talk to that.
Whoa. Why you coming to me with the gunshots and stuff, man?
You don't know from Pleasant Grove.
that's my good friend Jeremy Williams, by the way, made that comment. We're kind of bred like be tough. Oh, you all right? Get out of my face with that. That ain't nothing. You crying over that, man, get out of her, and stuff like that. And so you condition over a while. So, all of a sudden, you treat that gunshot that's so serious, like it was, it ain't nothing, know. And what it is, you lie to everybody else, and you lie to yourself mentally. It's not nothing. I'm okay. I'm all right. It ain't no biggie. I'm cool. It ain't no thing. And then I think that's what I just spoke of, where you saying you get comfortable living with that scab. Instead of trying to heal it to turn it into a scar, now you're comfortable with it, and that's a situation right there.
Scars versus scabs. That's the tough conversation, because I think most of the issues that we deal with today are because we never allowed those scabs to turn into scars.
Never, for sure.
And they don't heal properly.
They don't heal properly. That's a banger, somebody says. Okay, I just want to read that. All right.
Hey, real quick, before you go on, just for the audience and everything, don't scabs versus scars just sound like a pickup game at the Rutgers in New York, like a basketball pickup game in the hood? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
We just not. Yeah. While ago we were doing a joke moment, you probably should have reserved it. That was bad enough during that time.
That wasn't no joke moment. That's an observation.
Clearly it wasn't.
I'm trying to turn that scab into a scar.
Hey, keep the comments coming. We really appreciate those comments. Scabs versus scars. So I wonder though, like what would be the first step in knowing that you have a scab that needs to be healed? Like, what do you do, Helen, when you how do you know? What are signs that people recognize in themselves that, wait a minute, something's not right, I need to fix this?
I heard this from a good friend of mine, Taffany, and it's how fast you go from a situation to anger without without processing any other emotion in between. Embarrassment, hunger, frustration. You just go straight to anger. And I think when you go straight to anger from a situation that happens, especially if it's a situation that is new with someone else, like this is the first time this person's been late with you, but someone else in the past was consistently late. This they first time infraction, and you spazzing right away. That should be, oh wait, hold on now. I know it irritates me, but this is a first time. You say, hey, listen, I just want you to know I really appreciate punctuality or like good communication. If you're gonna be even 2 minutes late, just let me know. Like I normally get to places on time. I get it. Like just let me know if that's something that triggers you. Now this is a pet peeve of mine. I'm gonna be honest. So timeliness has been drilled into me. But if you are triggered, which is I think the word that we use very fast, and I think that's one of the first. Well, I guess to me that's the first one. When you get triggered about something, especially if it's in your mind small and afterthought, you should probably look at that situation a little deeper and why you went from 0 to 100 in -2 seconds.
You think a person with a bad attitude and just negative all the time just got a lot of scars, a lot of scabs? I should say.
Yeah, and haven't recognized them.
I would say so.
I wouldn't even say they have scabs; they have wounds. Because how can you be negative all the time? Yeah. Every single thing that we talk about, whatever we talk about, anything you don't have you all the time.
And that takes
there's not anything that's making you happy. That has to be hard to live a life to where you're just negative. It's always bad. It's never anything good. And that drains people. Yeah. I.e. me. I speak for myself. I don't really want to be around and talk to somebody that's all negative all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, that drains people and that keeps people away from you. And then people wonder why people don't want to talk to me. Why don't but negative.
Just one more thought to add to Yashika. There is so much intention behind being negative. Like you literally
it takes energy and effort.
You so much. If you so much, y'all. Much.
It takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile.
I be telling people that all the time now.
And the trigger part, like when you were talking about, one of my pet peeves is ugly twins. And so, if we're going out doing something, I just have to realize that I'll be, hey, leave your brother at home next time. I have to help out with it. But that's another show.
That's why I lost.
Several people usually tell you why they're having the same issue with you is a good indication.
Yeah,
well, that's good. That's good. That's good.
That's Mr. Eric Russell.
All right. So Scabs versus Scars. Thank y'all for the comments. Thank you, Eric, for that comment. Although he's supposed to be on here, we won't go to that comment and talk about it.
Shots fired.
All right. It's almost that time. We're not gonna play that game again, by the way. That was just
I want to see you and Yashika do y'all thing.
Who gonna host it?
Good. Y'all tell us in the comments because I think Anthony being a hater for no reason.
Yes, definitely.
I tell you what, we got a couple minutes. Me and Yashika go head to head.
He has a one.
All right, Yashika, are you ready?
I'm not. Let me get up to my laptop so I can pull the jokes up. Hold on.
So
y'all.
What we're doing for those of you who are watching, we're playing Try Not to Laugh. What we're doing is we're just going through a list. It's all about the delivery. We talked about comedy last week. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let Helen host it. Kim is not here, so she can't do it.
Ace gonna host it.
Okay, Ace, you're going to host it. You ready, Ace?
Oh, yeah, I'm always ready.
Don't look like it. Look like you're looking for something.
I was on my other. Hey, well, I can't control. You got to put the screen right.
Oh God, just go with it.
All right. So Anthony and Yashika, these are the rules. We're gonna play Try Not to Laugh. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna do 3 rounds, and you guys are gonna tell a joke, and the other is gonna try not to laugh. Y'all ready?
Okay.
All right, let me flip a coin and see who goes first. Yashika.
Yeah. I bet you flip that coin. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What was Forrest Gump's computer password? Yeah, I took it. You laughed, by the way. I won.
Yeah, you did.
Here's the password. She did not watch the last round.
Oh yeah, did y'all say that? Oh, I missed it. I did watch. My delivery's better. My delivery's better. Let me do it.
I tell you what, it was corny. It was corny when Helen said it, and it's corny when you said it.
All right.
Oh, y'all wouldn't even let me. You wouldn't even let me do the delivery. Give me a chance. I was ready for that one. No, it's over.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Come on, I'm ready.
What did one wall say to the other wall?
I don't know.
I'll meet you at the corner.
Yeah, okay.
But on both.
Okay.
It's on you.
Round two, we going to it. Okay, Yashika, let him rip. Let him have one.
We got 3 rounds for those of you watching.
What does cows read the most?
I don't know. What does cows read the most?
Catalog. Catalog. These dad jokes are real. Come on, big cat, laugh. He's laughing.
We got one for Yashika. He laughed. Yashika, you got one. Okay.
I gave it to him.
Oh, did he laugh? No, don't give me nothing.
Oh, no,
What do you call a sad strawberry? A blueberry.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Okay,
it's good. That was good.
Okay.
Okay.
One more
round 3. So round 3 is final round. Yashika got 1. Goodson,
okay.
You got 0. You gotta bring a banger, Goodson. Okay, Yashika, let's hear it.
What did the lettuce say to the celery?
Wait, say it again.
What did the lettuce say to the celery?
I don't know. What did the
Quit stalking me?
Oh, I see it. 2-0.
Delivery. I like it.
You know what?
You hear that? Quit stalking me.
She's redeemed herself. She's redeemed herself. You know what? She ain't won now. She ain't won now Black Card Revoke, but she won Try Not to Laugh.
Here go mine. What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt. No.
I don't get it.
That's okay. That's
nice
I didn't get that one.
What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt.
Because a 0 and they look like an 8 got a belt. Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
I'm laughing your shit.
I didn't get
don't
that
know who that's probably some family member had to be laughing at that one. Want to hear a joke about construction?
Yeah, we want to hear a joke about construction.
Bring it on. Are we waiting?
So
Oh, you know what?
I'm still working on it. That's good.
That must be a Dallas, Texas joke. Because that must be a Dallas, Texas construction joke right there.
Gotta be. It took a while. All right, thank y'all for joining.
That was fun.
Being with us on that one. It took a great deal of patience, Helen, for all of those who are watching. These are our true fans right here. But you know,
I still don't get it, but that talking one was good. You know it was.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right.
Hey, who we got on the show next week?
Oh, yeah, I like that. Next week.
Girl, you sound like somebody from the Bronx.
Well, next week we're gonna be talking to a crazy group of people that I've researched. We're actually gonna be talking to current porn stars that. Wait, wrong podcast. Oh, my bad. We actually gonna be talking about to midgets that are applying for the police department, and we're gonna name the show gonna be Standing Tall for Justice.
Yeah. Every time.
My face.
Every time.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Yashika, that's on you.
Hey, who you got on the show next week?
I'm glad you asked. We're going to be talking to a great group of people next week. Kind of strange, so prepare yourself. But we'll be talking women who are actually equal salary and equal in corporate America with their men counterpart just because they have the same amount of facial hair. Waka, waka, waka?
Okay.
Let's just say it probably won't make the highlight reel.
Better luck next week.
All right. So next week, y'all be sure to share. We have an amazing show next week for real. The show next week is a financial show. I think Dina, who's a listener, a viewer, she's going to be on the show next week. We have Pretty, oh God, what's the name of them? I got to forget. Pretty quick tax service. They'll be on next week. And I think we have one other guest. I can't remember who. It's going to be a really good show if y'all haven't done y'all's taxes, and it is tax season. We're talking about finances. Next week is going to be the show to watch. Y'all be sure to share it, put it on your page. We're going to have a good time. Helen, any last words?
Listen, thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you were able to grab some good gems in this show. Tune in next week. Always gonna be good vibes, for sure. And thank you. Hearts.
Ace?
Tuck it up, buttercup.
Tuck it up. Okay.
That was okay. Yashika?
Give yourself time. Run your own race. Try to be mindful of your scabs and try not to compare yourself. Be honest with yourself.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for watching. We've had a great show. Next week, finances. Thank y'all, my co-hosts. Y'all have a good week.
This has been good.
I don't think he backs down from anything that he says. That stands behind whatever statement that he makes.
Well, one of them can use 8-tracks, cassette tapes, CDs. Nah, you ain't gonna get it. Stereotype. Boom, bing.
I think one of the things we talked about is family dinners. That's like a mini reunion.
You can't catch all fish with the same bait, right? So you got to be careful with who you're trying to reach.
I agree with music definitely influences violence, and it definitely makes a lot of individuals feel like, yo, this is the play, this is what, I got to do.
So